So everybody, you might have seen that Chase is offering a brand new 120k sign-up bonus for their Chase Inc. Business Preferred card. Now, I've been mulling this over since it was released about 10 days ago, and of course, by the title of this video, you know exactly what I actually decided to do, but there's a bunch of data points and reasonings why I almost didn't do it, and that's what we're going to talk about. Then we're going to talk about the perks of this card, what it's going to look like after owning it for a year, and finally, you're going to apply with me and see what the outcome was, but let's get into this video. So to give you guys some data points as to what we're dealing with before I apply for this card, there was 3 main reasons as to why I was kind of deciding almost not to apply for this card. The first one being is that I actually only 2 months ago, or maybe 2.5 months ago, applied for the Chase Business Cash card and got approved for that one because that one had a minimum spend of, I believe, $6,000 over a 6-month span, and you can get up to 75,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points, or again, it's advertised as cash back. But we did complete that sign-up bonus about 5-6 days ago, which did leave some room open to go for another sign-up bonus. But again, we were only 2.5 months removed from getting approved for that Chase Business Cash card. The second thing that was kind of making me worry about getting approved for this card is that about 4.5 months ago, I actually refinanced my auto loan to get a much better rate, and that also is a hard inquiry on your credit. It's a new loan, and it is one of those factors that credit card companies and these banks look at to see how many times you're getting hard inquiries to get approved for their cards. And then the third reason, which is kind of reasons 3A and 3B, first is that I didn't really think that I needed another $95 annual fee card, because that's exactly what this Chase Inc. Preferred card is. It is a $95 a year annual card, and I already have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, which is a $550 annual fee, which also fits under that travel category and actually gives you much more perks because you are spending $550, but it already gives me the perks of being able to use a transfer partner. It's a great travel card, and I have a whole separate video on the Chase Sapphire Reserve or even the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And then lastly, it was a spending requirement for the sign-up bonus. To get the 120k sign-up bonus, you need to spend a minimum of $8,000 over a span of 3 months. So yes, I was able to do the $6,000 in 6 months. That was way more spread out and a little bit less. But now $8,000 over 3 months, you know, again, this is the reason why it's a business card. So these business cards do have a much higher minimum spend, but normally it does give you a much more lucrative reward in the 120k sign-up bonus points. So those were a bunch of factors that I was thinking about before applying for this card, and leave a comment down below of what you would do if you were in my personal situation. So now that you're in my head and you know my mindset going into this application that, you know, I could get denied because of the amount of hard inquiries that I've had and the different credit cards that I've opened, I did want to take advantage of the 120k sign-up bonus, so I figured let's try this thing out. But first, let's talk about the perks that you get with the Inc. Business Preferred card. So as I mentioned, this is a $95 annual fee card that you get charged pretty much within the first month or two, which is my experience with Chase cards. So definitely be ready to be spending that $95, and you do get some nice perks in terms of spending multipliers for a business card. So you do get up to 3x back on certain categories, and those categories do include travel, shipping purchases, advertising purchases made with social media sites and search engines, and then also internet, cable, and phone services. So this is going to be my new internet card, my new phone service card. I don't really do any advertising spend at all, so I don't have that spending category. And this spending category does cap off at $150,000 per year at 3x back, and then after that it goes back down to 1x. Of course, since this is a travel-focused card, there is 0 transaction fees, you get priority insurance when it comes to car collision service. There are some other temporary perks like 5x back on Lyft through March of 25, and you also have the ability to then redeem those points at 1.25 cents per point through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. Now again, those might be a little bit of a wash because I do have the Chase Sapphire Reserve like I mentioned, and that gives me 1.5x back on all travel purchase through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, so that's something to consider. So if you do meet those spending requirements and get your 120k points, you're going to be getting a minimum of 128,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points after you meet that spend, because you get at least 1 point for those $8,000 that you did to reach that minimum spend. And that 128k on a conservative side, if you transfer it out to transfer partners, is worth, you know, $2,500 maybe, a little bit more if you just use it through the actual Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. Whatever 128,000 times 1.25x is, which should give you a little bit over $1,500 to spend through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. But the final thing that I did want to check off to make sure that I wanted to go through this card, because after I meet that sign-up bonus, there is a chance that I don't need this card at all since I'm already on the non-business side of the actual Chase Ultimate Reward ecosystem, is that you can downgrade this to a business cash or a business unlimited card, which is a 0 annual fee card. So spending $95 to meet that minimum spend and get basically $1,500 worth of travel for $95, that to me was a no-brainer, and then the year after that, I could just downgrade it to a 0 fee annual card and kind of put it away and maybe put 1 or 2 purchases on it. So once I figured that all out, I decided that it's worth applying for, and now let's get into the application process. Well, alright everybody, let's get to this portion of the video. This is always the most nerve-wracking part because, again, I'm going to let you guys know what my data points are, and I'm kind of not feeling super confident about getting approved for this card because of what I've done in the past, especially very recently. So to give you an idea, the first thing you're going to want to do is go into Chase's website. I'm already signed into Chase's website, and you're going to want to go and find the business cards. And the one that we're going to be going for is that Ink Business Preferred. And we already mentioned earlier in the video, 120,000 bonus points after spending $8,000 in 3 months. Again, it's a little bit more expensive or a little bit harder to reach that minimum spend, especially if you don't have a business or maybe you're just by yourself. But again, I have a family. It's a little easier for me to hit that type of minimum spend, but still, we're kind of pushing it towards the end here in terms of that upper echelon of what we could hit of that $8,000 over the 3-month span. So let's see how it goes overall. But to give you some data points, I'm sitting in the low to mid 700s in terms of credit score, around 735 to 745. And the one thing that I'm kind of worried about, or I guess it's two things actually. So about 4 months ago, I did refi my auto loan to get a much lower APR in terms of financing. And then secondly, about 2 months ago, we actually got approved for the Chase Business Cash Card, which again, we only got a $4,000 spending limit on that card. We did get approved immediately on that, but again, it was only 2 months ago. I'm a little bit worried maybe Chase thinks I'm doing too many actual approvals or applications. But again, let's see exactly how this goes. We're gonna apply now here and run through this whole process together. So again, make sure you're looking at the right thing. So 120,000 bonus points after $8,000 in the first 3 months. And this one does have a $95 annual fee. But let me fill out this personal info and then we'll touch base. Now, if we go down here, this is where you're going to want to check off, especially if you're somebody who doesn't actually have an LLC, but you are making some side hustle money. You're going to want to sign up for this card via a sole proprietorship because that means you don't need an EIN. You can use your normal social security number. And then the second thing, which is nice about business cards, is that it doesn't go towards your 524 for Chase. Because after you've applied or been approved for 5 different cards within a 24-month span, no matter the issuer, no matter the bank, Chase will automatically decline you from accepting any other cards in the Chase ecosystem. But that does not apply for the Chase business cards. So right here is where you're going to want to actually put in the social security number. I'm going to type that in. And then in terms of business category, what I like to do is arts, entertainment, and recreation, because again, we are talking about a YouTube channel, and this is for entertainment and education purposes. And then we'll go down here as a secondary one, as maybe we can pick independent artists, writers, or performers, the subtype, and then the NCIS code, which will be auto-filled, and then estimated monthly spend on the card. Let's put something like, would you like to add an employee? We're going to press no, and then we're going to press agree, and then let's press submit and see what happens. I'm not feeling too confident about this one. It's taking a while. And just like that, we were approved for the new Business Preferred card with a $10,000 credit line, which is pretty interesting here. Because like I mentioned earlier, the Business Cash one that we got earlier about 2 months ago was only a $4,000 credit limit. So again, very interesting. But looks like we got it. So now, for 3 months from today, we got to reach that $8,000 minimum spend. And we get 120,000 bonus points in terms of a sign-up bonus, as well as the $8,000 times whatever those spending multipliers are. And we're going to have a whole video about what 120,000 ultimate reward points can get you, because it can go pretty friggin' far. So as you saw, everybody, we got approved. We got a much higher spending limit than I thought we were going to get, especially compared to the other 2 Chase business cards that I have, which are, I think, at $5,000 and $4,000. So $10,000 spending limit on the Chase Ink Preferred card is going to be amazing to have. But again, pay your credit card off on time in full every single month. If not, the banks end up winning and you end up losing, even if you do meet the minimum spend and get that sign-up bonus. At the end of the day, it's going to be a big loss for the consumer if you do not actually pay your credit card in full every single month. But again, it's great to be able to share all the data points that I had, because in any other situation, I would be looking for data points like this. You know, like I mentioned, 4.5 months ago, I refied my auto loan. 2.5 months ago, I applied for a business card from Chase. I'm still under 524 on the personal card side, but I've opened a bunch of credit cards in the past 2 years. And I believe I've been approved every single time except for the Bilt MasterCard. Bilt did not give me their Bilt MasterCard, but my wife does have it, so at the end of the day, we're still able to use it. But over the past 2 years, I've been able to get approved for a bunch of other credit cards, which is an amazing thing to see. So it looks like banks are getting a little bit more lenient in terms of how many hard inquiries you're getting, as long as you do have a good credit history, you have a decent credit score, and as long as you have very low credit card utilization. I think for the most part, you'll be okay if you do want to sign up for this card. All the links are going to be down below if you guys do want to sign up for this card. I'd highly recommend jumping on it. If you can meet that $8,000 minimum spend with normal transactions and normal purchases, definitely check it out down below. It helps the channel tremendously, and also get some Chase Ultimate Reward points if you guys sign up and get approved for the card. But let me know in the comment down below. Would you have done what I did? Is the data points that I've given you something that you would put yourself into as well? Are you somebody that already applied and got this 120K bonus? Let me know in the comment down below. Always happy to discuss. But if you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. And if you want to watch more videos like this, YouTube thinks you're going to like this video right here. And if not, check out this awesome Hyatt hack that we were able to find out through the daily drop. But that'll do it, everybody. Until next time, I'm Fernando, and I'm out of here. Peace.